Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you're listening from. It's me, Lisa, and this is Untitled, the podcast without a name. In the last episode, I talked about emotional resilience. I talked about what happens when something in your life falls apart and when there is a lot of uncertainty going on. Today, I want to talk about the other side of that, which is more the practical side. And that means your habits, your routines, and your overall structure. Because when shit hits the fan, your structure is there to save you, basically. That's what I've learned. So, when life feels unstable, your nervous system usually goes into survival mode, right? And all it wants is a quick relief. And again, discipline is not about control. Discipline is about stability. It's about having something steady and stable when you don't feel stable. Let's say something you can hold on to when you are not okay. For me personally, there are a few non negotiables. And I mean, yes, we all have a lot of them, but I want to mention three of them. So, first, it's my training. I get up early in the morning, I get ready, and I move my body no matter what. And that means I work out and I run. I keep working on my goals because I have a plan, right? And I stick to my plan. Even when I'm struggling and even when I'm not okay. Second is my nutrition. And I don't mean just eating or drinking, I mean the proper fueling. So I want to perform and I want to reach my goals. And that means I need to support my body properly. And the third, and probably one of the most important things in my life, yeah, it's my sleep. And I'm basically a professional sleeper at this point. I have a lot of practice. So I protect my sleep, especially after 6.5 years of really bad and unhealthy sleep. And that was years ago, but still, there is nothing that will take my sleep from me. And even when going to bed doesn't solve my problem, and sleep might not fix the situation I'm in, but it protects my nervous system. And that means I have time to restore my energy and my brain gets time to step back a little bit and create some distance and it gets time to calm down. And honestly, sometimes the most mature and the best thing you can do is you go to bed, you close your eyes, and you sleep before your emotions escalate. Make a long story short, I stick to my routine because routine regulates my system. And that means same wake up time, same training time, same bedtime. And that's something predictable. And predictable means safe. And safe means stable. Simple as that. And yes, I've missed workouts too. It happened. Yes. It happened because of physical pain and because of some injuries I had going on. And I mean, for the most part, when recovery and rest were necessary. But I can tell you, I have never skipped a training session because I was emotionally distressed. It never happened, and it will never happen. Since summer 2024, I've been in and out of training cycles, which means I follow a structured plan. And that means early mornings, a lot of running, a lot of working out, a lot of preparation, and early evenings and good sleep. And not once did I cancel a workout or a run because I was overwhelmed or I didn't feel good or I was heartbroken or I mean, I felt all those things. But let me tell you, my emotions don't dictate my life or my schedule. I've been there, I've done that, and I don't want to do that anymore. So if my body needs rest, maybe I recover. If something hurts physically, maybe I adjust my training because you don't have to stop every time. Maybe you just adjust your workout or your run. But emotional discomfort is not a reason for me, at least, to abandon my structure. And I think there is a big difference between respecting your limits physically and giving in to your mood. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but yeah, I mean, giving in when you don't feel okay and when you are emotionally hurt, for me, in my opinion, that's just an excuse. So you have to be honest with yourself. Do you truly need rest or maybe adjustment? Or are you negotiating with your schedule, with your training plan, with your goals, or in general? And the funny thing is, and I really love that about training, the weights, they don't care how you feel. And running doesn't care about your excuses and your problems and your heartbreak and the things going on. And that means you cannot cheat. You really cannot cheat. So, what you put in, you get out. Simple as that. You cannot skip the workouts and expect results because the results are always a reflection of what you put in. And that's why I love it. It doesn't judge you, but it doesn't lie to you either. And that means if you show up consistently, you get stronger, you get better, you get faster. And also in life, right? If you don't, you don't. And when life feels emotionally complicated, it is the easiest way to have or find clarity. Stick to your plan, stick to your routines. It's so simple because consistency beats emotions every single time. And again, you cannot cheat discipline. There is no way. And I think we live in a society of immediate gratification. People want quick results. They want quick validation and quick solutions for every problem, and they want transformation fast. And I get it. I mean, yeah, but that's not how life works. Your body doesn't adapt overnight. You don't get better overnight. You don't get faster overnight. You don't get rich overnight. Your nervous system doesn't regulate overnight. It takes time. Healing doesn't happen overnight either. Long-term stability is built slowly, and there is no shortcut. You have to go through. And here's something honest. Even the things that usually regulate me personally, like running or working out, they don't always feel the same when I'm going through something. I mean, I'm a human being too. So, running is usually where I challenge myself and where I feel strong afterwards. But sometimes I can tell you, it just feels like word and it feels really hard. Because sometimes the tools feel different when you are in a different situation. That doesn't mean they stopped working, they still work. It just means your nervous system is maybe dealing with something deeper. And for me personally, when I'm struggling with something, the biggest regulation I get is sleep. And that's why I protect my sleep. I protect my sleep, my recovery, and I need a lot of silence. And that's discipline too, because sometimes the high intensity regulation feels overwhelming. So sometimes the strongest and smartest thing you can do is maybe regulate down. And that doesn't always feel good either. But sometimes that's what you need, maybe. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is go to bed early instead of sitting there and overthinking, and it doesn't get you anywhere. So when something big shifts in your life and your brain wants relief, it's easy to drop the structure. I get it. But every time you stick to your system, you send an important message, and that's, I'm still doing it. And that builds self trust. And I say it again, it builds self trust. Consistency is not about perfection. So even if one part of your life disappears, don't let everything slide. There is no reason. And the hardest part maybe is trying to regulate yourself with the same structure that feels different sometimes when you're going through something. You are doing the same things, but they don't feel the same. I mean, yeah, maybe training doesn't feel empowering. Maybe running doesn't clear your head. Holding it together is not always about feeling strong. It happens, I get it. And that can be confusing. So when control slips, ask yourself, what do I refuse to let fall apart? And that's the power. Not pretending nothing hurts, but protecting what stabilizes you. And that means protect your routines, your nutrition, your structure, and your sleep. When life shifts, your systems are what hold you. And it's not motivation, it's not emotions. And again, don't let everything slide just because one thing did. You don't always feel strong while you are being strong. You don't always feel stable while you are stabilizing yourself. But every time you choose discipline over impulse, every time you choose sleep over overthinking, and every time you show up when you could have quit, that's the important moment. So let structure hold you until you feel stable again. And after survival mode, there is self trust. You just have to walk through. And self trust becomes unshakable. So keep building your structure and your systems and Keep protecting what protects you. I will talk to you soon.